codominant. Now we're looking at sex determination. This they will ask you in relation to a genetic cross. It's always 50-50, as you can see here, because it's XY and XX. There's always going to be two XX and two XY. So therefore, it doesn't matter. It's always 50% chance of a female, 50% chance of a male. That's why you can't predict whether you're going to have a boy or girl as a child. There's always a 50-50 chance, like biologically. 50-50. Each species has their own unique number unique number and shape of chromosomes in the form of a karyotype. So a karyotype's that big block that they put a whole bunch of chromosomes in. I don't know if you've ever seen it. If you must have seen it because we have 23 chromosomes. There you go. It's a block. So you see the difference between a male and a female is chromosome 23. The male has one big one and one small one. So with every other chromosome, the two chromosomes match in size. But then for the males, their chromosome 23 is one big one and one small one because that's X and Y. So the Y is a small one. That's how you know, because they can ask you that in an exam. They can ask you, is this a male or a female's karyotype? And then you can tell them that based on looking at the chromosome 23. There's a 22 autosomes and one gonosome. Autosomes refers to the body, and then gonosomes is gametes, so X and Y. It's your sex chromosomes. Now we're going to look at sex-linked inheritance. So this basically means disorders, not disorders. Is it I don't think it's a disorder. I don't know. That is linked to the X chromosome. So it's on a certain allele. So for example, color blindness and hemophilia will be on the X chromosome. So what this also means is that if you have um, like two parents that have the how do I explain this? If you have two parents that have this disorder and you have a son, he's like 100% likely to get the disorder because he only has one X chromosome. He doesn't have a Y chromosome to like because the Y chromosome can't take anything, so it has to be the X. If you have a female, then she has two X's. So one X can have because these disorders are always recessive. So one X can have the recessive, and then one X can be the dominant. So then they don't have it, but they have that other X to fall back onto. For for a male, he only has one X. So if he gets the X chromosome, then there's nothing to fall back onto. So then I just say remember no superscript on a Y chromosome. So you just need to remember when you're doing, so say you're doing the genetic cross and it's four sex-linked characteristics, you have to, so you do the, like what I said, little b and small b on the X, but you don't write anything on the Y because the Y doesn't carry that disorder or whatever you want to call it. So you don't write. So superscript is just the little letters that will go on top, almost like a exponent. Yeah. There are four blood types: A, B, AB, and O. And we obviously know that it's A positive, negative, B positive, negative, AB, O positive, negative. But here we're just going to look at A, B, and O. So what's interesting is that there is actually only 3 alleles, 4 blood types, but only 3 alleles, and you still inherit 2. Here we're going to readdress that AB is codominant, and then we're going to also say that I is recessive. I know what you're thinking. What's I? I codes for the O blood type. Crazy, I know. You'll see it when I draw it on the sticky note. Because you can be a homozygous dominant and you can be heterozygous. That'll make sense in a minute. So there's like 2 ways that you can code for blood group A, blood group B, but there's only one way you can code for AB and O. Because AB is co-dominant, there's only one way to code for it. So you see that those A's there by the I, that's what superscript is. So the big I's with the A's, you get 2 and you get A. But then you see the second one, it's a capital I and a small I. So the small I is recessive, and if you are homozygous recessive, then that's blood group O. So then if you see in a genetic cross, if you have the blood group both A's, but if they're heterozygous, then their child could have O as a blood group. And then for paternity testing, that you'll see more in DNA, but if the blood group matches with a man, then that man is possibly the father. But only DNA profiling is conclusive. So if this boy has blood group A and this random guy also has blood group A, there's a chance that that's the father, but it's not very conclusive.